Group, I extend a warm welcome to you all today at this welcome session of my FRK Synergy community. My name is Naseem Sharif and I shall be the moderator for the session today. Before we take a deep dive into the technicalities of today's session, let me introduce you to our founder members of this group. To start with, we have Dr. Ribello. He has been conferred his PhD by the then President of India, Pratibha Devi Singh Patil. He has been a teaching faculty for over 40 years with various institutions, specializes in financial accounting and financial management. He is based in Mumbai, India. Then we have CA Vishwanathan Subramanian, fellow member of the ICAI since 2009, having exposure of over 13 years in the areas of internal audits, statutory audits, internal financial control, IND AS implementation, etc. Expert in analytical tools, having exposure to various kinds of ERP such as SAP, Microsoft Navision, Microsoft Accepta, Genesis. He is a guest lecturer in various management colleges on the subject of accounting standards as well as IND AS. He is based in Mumbai, India. I'll just admit a few people. Okay. Then we have CA Tijesh Maru, having exposure of 18 plus years in the field of bank finance, taxation, corporate audits, bank audits, and IND AS implementation. He has worked as professor in various colleges and with professional coaching academy for subjects such as taxation, accounts, and audits. He is based in Mumbai, India. And finally, we have Mr. J.K. Jivani. He is a fellow member of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountant London. He also brings with him over 25 plus years of working experience across the globe and has widely traveled in his career. He is a qualified banker and a member of IIBF, that is the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. He is based in Doha, Qatar. So warm welcome to people who have joined later on. Yes, I'm Girish, you're welcome. I invite Mr. J.K. Jivani to take this further. J.K. Jivani.
Well, the first question that you would have in your mind is as to why this community. I'd just like to briefly explain as to with what thought is this particular group or community created. The underlying objective behind creating this community is the essence of sharing and learning. The very idea with which this community is developed is to support in building a bridge between the contributors and learners. What we have in today's scenario is that there are multiple avenues to seek knowledge through informations which are generally available online. What is missing with this is the crucial aspect of practical application of knowledge, which helps in creating skills at a faster pace. This very skill set leads you to a growth path in terms of your professional career and also helps you in your personal life by giving you a dimensional outlook at problem solving. You may be knowledgeable, however, what you are required to demonstrate at work and in practice is your practical ability to deliver results. And results often go through the problem solving mode. With the help of this platform, you can seek to develop your cake index, that is cumulative acquired knowledge and experience, through practical knowledge parted and shared by many experienced people in this group. Many such contributors in this group who would love to share their knowledge and help others. And I'm sure you shall have fun learning experience all throughout this session. With that, I would like to pass the spotlight back to our moderator, Naseem.
Thank you, Mr. Jivani. So we go ahead in our today's session. As Mr. Jivani explained, we have this poll through which there will be questions which will be given on the screen, and you have 4 choices. out of which you have to pick up your choice, and then we will have some brainstorm. So here comes our first question. The abbreviation GAP stands for. Please select your choice. I hope you can see the poll on the screen. Okay, I'm ending the poll.
Okay. Right. I basically want the participants who have pressed the button for the 2 or 3 or 4 or even the one should respond. It is a two-way communication. One should not hesitate to participate. The basic criteria of this poll is not to test your knowledge nor anyone else's knowledge. I want someone to speak why he has to justify why he selected this.
Sir,
I think
I would like to interrupt. Girish Hartkar has typed in chat, generally accepted accounting practice. So Girish, I would request you to discuss this on the on the forum. Can you please discuss this?
Yeah, actually, it is practices which is usually used while finalizing the accounts.
okay.
You know, it may be different
Yeah.
countries to countries. Maybe US GAAP is different, is IFRS is different, India's is different because in India, actually, it is not they are actually implemented IFRS. It is they are made certain modification as per the country's requirements, and they are made in India's.
Okay.
Like that,
Right.
but it is this is the accepted principles for India. It is
Okay.
not it is not actually the IFRS which is used in the UK or
Okay.
any other countries. The countries normally not adopted as it is IFRS, but it is as per the you can say they are modified as per their country's requirements, and these
Okay.
are the accepted principles practices you can say used by the countries for themselves. That's why it is generally accepted accounting practices.
Okay. The maximum people have responded to the first. Anybody else? First, those who answer the first one can also give the reason. Okay. Fine. Dheeraj is not audible. Yeah.
Much what Dheeraj had said, it was not audible, but the first respondent, Mr. Girish, what he had said, I agree with him. The only area of disagreement would be just the last word, which is, he said practice. I think it is generally accepted accounting principles, and rest of the information that Mr. Girish had given, I think that is correct, because those these are basically accounting standards which are followed in every country. Like IFRS is the one which is followed in the UK and followed by many countries. And as in India, they have modified the IFRS to form their own GAAP. And like the US also has their own GAAP. So these are basically accounting practice and principles which are followed by the companies which are established in those countries. So I kind of agree with what Mr. Girish said. Just a small,
Yeah. Good. Anybody else is there finally before we conclude?
Hello.
Yeah. Anybody?
I want to add something.
Yeah.
The general accounting practices which we are using while finalizing account, you have to actually you have to give while in the notes to accounts. Actually, because these are the basis on which we are finalizing the accounts, and generally these are the normal accounting principle which is used in that countries. You may say, if you want to deviate, then you have to specify in the notes to accounts.
Okay.
That
Fine.
is another point is there.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Finally.
So Pooja Verma has raised hand.
Okay. Go ahead.
You can speak, Pooja.
Unmute her.
Yeah, she's unmuted. I've unmuted everybody.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's good.
Pooja, let unmute from your end.
Anyway, so you can go ahead.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
Pooja.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So GAP is generally accepted accounting principles, which is a set of rules and procedures which are followed by all the companies to make accounts. So this is followed because they want to bring about a uniformity while preparing the accounts in various companies, so that it is very easy for us to, it becomes very easy for us to compare between the two companies' accounts. So US GAAP is followed in US, and then Ind AS is followed in India, which is a slightly modified version of IFRS. And IFRS is internationally accepted all over the world.
Okay, good, good.
One thing I would like to add over here is the importance of the accounting principles, the practices that are used, because that can have a major impact on if, in certain countries, certain accounting principles might expense certain items, whereas some countries might allow them to capitalize. So it may very well result in a profit in one country and a major loss in another country. So it really depends.
Good, good. Yeah, I think majority of the people have accepted the first option as the correct answer. Generally accepted accounting principle.
Okay.
Okay, I also concur with their choice. Generally, GAP is basically a abbreviation for generally accepted accounting principles. Many of the participants have given the justification. I would like to add only one thing. Practice may be many countries, maybe having many people, may be having different practices. But to harmonize them, all these of the different countries, into uniform, not rules. Some people have used the word rules. Rules are not coming into the picture. As in today, principles are the basis on which the accounting or the financials are prepared, so that there is a uniformity as far as possible between the 2 years data and 2 companies data also. So therefore, basically, when we say GAP, we should underline the word principles, not the practice. Practice may be having, many people may be having many different things. India also, we had a different practice where a rule-based principle practice was there. But now we are switching over gradually from our AS, then to E&S, and finally we are landing into IFRS. And that is based on principles. So therefore, the GAP is correctly named as General Accepted Accounting Principles. Over to Naseem.
Thank you, sir. We go to our next question. Yes, be prepared.
Yes, go ahead.
The body to which the International Accounting Standards Board is responsible is? Kindly choose your answers.
On the results, what one can see here is like majority of the crowd have answered it correct. IFRS Foundation is the apex umbrella under which all the other small councils facilitate and supports the IFRS. It's interesting to know as to where and who gives the birth to IFRS. And it is evident from the answer that most of the people know, and the correct authority is the IFRS Foundation. Moving over to for the next question then.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Jivani. Here we go to the next question. Question 3. One of the main advantages of standardization in financial reporting is? Kindly choose your options.
From the statistics, I believe we see more contributors in this group. That's a good part of it, you know.
Okay, good, good. Anyway, it is good.
So I would request Mr. Vishwanathan, can you please give us your insights on this question?
Yeah, I have seen 94% of you have chosen this second option for this question. The main advantage of standardization in financial reporting, that is adoption of IFRS. See, even before I want to answer this different alternatives, the main objective of bringing in IFRS or the modified IFRS, as we call it as Ind AS in India, was to bridge the gap between the pattern in which the financials have been reported in one country, so that it can become comparable with the financials reported by another entities across the globe. So it is very much evident that the correct alternative for this question is comparability between accounting periods for the same company, or it can also between different entities that can also cross the boundaries of different countries. So that is the main crux of IFRS. If we see the option C, which was selected by few, the production of prudent financial statements. See, it is a very basic thing. The concept of prudence was already there in existence in the existing US GAAP or UK GAAP or even the Indian GAAPs that we used to follow. So by introduction of IFRS or say Ind AS, there's not a new concept that has been added. It is already there. Second, the last option which was selected by few, increased flexibility in financial reporting. You cannot say that we can have a flexible kind of financial reporting. Financial reporting pattern is required by the different statutes and of course the IFRS standards. So the reporting happens accordingly. The MIS informations are retrieved in a different format. So accordingly, the option number 3 and option number 4 are not technically the correct ones or the relevant answers. And of course, when you talk about creativity in accounting practice, of course, no one has chosen that answer, but still, there is no concept of creativity when it comes to following any kind of accounting practice. So final answer from me is, also I'm in sync with you all that the 94% population of the second option, comparability between accounting periods and between entities. Okay.
So that's
Over to
great.
Naseem.
And thanks, Mr. Vishwanathan. Here we have the next question. The conceptual framework defines an asset as. Yes, so I'm ending the poll and let's share the results. Awesome. So 14 have replied as option 1. And would the person who's replied as option 2 would like to share their insights? Anyone? Or anybody who has responded as first option would like to share their views? Yes?
No.
Yes?
Yeah, asset is for the actually for the future from which we can get a future economic benefit. That's
Okay.
why it is the first option. It is.
Okay. Anybody else would like to share their views? So we all are friends here, learning from each
That's
other.
why this is the major actually future economic benefit is a major word is there in first option.
Great. Anybody else? So I invite Mr. Maru to give his views on this option, please.
Yeah, this is a very simple question. It's an introductory question about an asset. I think majority of the crowd has given a right answer. Still, I'll just put some insights on this asset. If you see the question, the conceptual framework defines an asset as. So for an asset, there should be three things. First of all, for asset, there should be resources. Without resources, that you can't say it is asset. So assets should have resources, which is result of a past event. So there is again two things: asset, resources as a result of past event, and future benefit. From the asset, we should get some future benefit flow to the entity. So there are two aspects here: asset from a past event, and these resources should give a benefit to our entity. So coming to the points here, first point is resources controlled by entity as a result of past event and from which future economic benefits are expected to flow to the entity. Okay, I think this point covered all the points. Resources controlled by entity means it is under control of entity as a result of past event, and a future economic benefit is expected to flow to the entity. Okay, come to the second point. Why second point is wrong? Here it is stated here, a present economic resources controlled by entity as a result of past event. So there is a past event, but there is no future benefit. So nothing about future benefit is described in this point. Come to the third point, a right to receive income and reduce expense in the future. Again, there is a right to receive income and expenses in the future, but there is no past event. There is all the present event. Yes. present and future, but there is no past event. And fourth one is none of the above. So it is very clear that the option number one is the right answer. Thank you. I am passing over to Naseem.
Thanks, Mr. Maru. Let's go to our next question. Yes, here it comes. What effect does a framework have on an accountant's need to exercise professional judgment? Okay, I would like to invite Mr. Vishwanathan to please share your notion on what you feel on this particular aspect.
Okay, the question goes, what effect does a framework have on accountants' need to exercise professional judgment? See, I'll start from the last alternative. It states it has no impact on the scope of professional judgment. The last alternative, which states it has no impact on the scope for professional judgment. If that was so, then there would be no companies that would have actually taken any hit on migrating from the old standard to the new standard, from the old gap to the revised gap. So it becomes an irrelevant alternative. Second is, the second last option above that is eliminating the scope for professional judgment. That practically is not at all possible. See, if there is a case that you don't need any kind of professional judgment, then this set of standards and this set of gaps would have been very, very simple, and it could have been a child's play. Again, that is not the case. So this again is not the relevant alternative. Going to the second alternative, increases the scope for professional judgment. Again, if that was the case, if the scope of professional judgment was going to be increased, then the cost of actually implementing the new standard would increase the benefit. If there's the more number of judgments that you need, it is going to cost you more. So the main crux or the main advantage of having an IFRS standard, which has a different set of standards for various transactions, and of course a background in the form of a conceptual framework to cover all those transactions, which is not covered by any particular standard, the entire crux or the main objective is to reduce the scope for professional judgment. So my opinion for this answer is alternative one, that is reducing the scope for professional judgment. Over to Naseem.
Thank you, Mr. Vishwanathan. Let's go to our next question. And here we are. Which of the following is not an objective of the conceptual framework? I would invite Mr. Jivani to please share your insights on this particular aspect. Mr. Jivani.
Now let me explain you with an analogy that if you are to construct a building, certainly you would have your own design. You would craft it accordingly. But if you are to plan, definitely there would be a body of knowledge. That is a framework within which you would work. Similarly, whereas financial reporting is concerned, especially when you talk about international financing standards or as such any other gap, we have something known as the conceptual framework. The framework, if you see the first parameter, addresses the common needs of a use of financial reports. Now, the conceptual framework very much imbibes and covers this particular aspect and guides relatively on that particular mode. The second comes is it enables consistency. The very idea of having a framework is to have a consistency. Otherwise, it would differ, and the whole purpose and process of harmonization would get defeated. The third in the sequence comes enables implementation of one universal set of accounting standards. Now, I will deal with this later after I have covered the fourth one, which is provides guidance for transaction not addressed in the existing accounting standards. Now, what happens is like, it is a baseline. It is something, a body of knowledge or a structure, as I mentioned earlier. Now, among these four, the only odd man out here would be, based on my conception, is it doesn't enable you implementation on one accounting standard. You might have the craft to craft a building in a different manner, but it only states the framework within which you can design it. The craft may be different and the conception knowledge will be different, but it has to be in line with the framework. And with that, I would like to conclude that the third answer is the correct one, that among the objectives of construction conceptual framework, this is not one of the objective included in the.
So what's it, team? We'll go for one more last question or we wind
Yeah,
up?
yeah. One
Go for
question.
last question. Yeah, last question.
So this is
Last
the
one for the day.
last question for the day. And
Yeah.
here it is. Quickly. Which of the following statements about the primary purpose of financial reporting is the most correct? Okay. So
Financial reporting is major aim is to provide the information, and that is for the decision making for the investors, the lenders, like that. That's why it is the first option is correct. Provide information about that can help the decision making.
So option 1 is correct from your side.
Okay. Yeah.
yes,
So-
Theodore Fernandez has raised hand.
Yeah.
You can speak,
Yeah.
please. Yes.
Okay. Finished? Shall
Two
we?
participants have raised their hands. I would request you to speak, please. I have unmuted all of you all.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
just wanted to talk about the option that I had selected, which was the fourth, because I feel ki it should be the existing and potential users also. In that sense, if someone wants to invest into the company, even for him, this would be a useful set of information.
Yeah,
so you
correct.
could be a potential user also.
Yeah. I
Thank
will give you the answer to this. What you said is right. But this entire sentence, if you say the first word, see the first word, identifies the range of existing and potential. It doesn't identify. Financial statement
Okay.
doesn't target at particular one. So that word identification goes against you. Otherwise, you are right. You are
All
right.
right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I think we'll wind up now. I don't know how you are or what is your feedback. You can definitely give the feedback to us. We as a team thought that as a resourceful person, we thought of sharing our knowledge with the community and help the professional as well as the students. And we welcome many people to participate. The first question, accept the I understand somebody may not be knowing, it is all right. You can share your knowledge. Nobody is there to criticize you. Nobody is there to laugh at you. We welcome your opinion. We always welcome the people opinion. We are here to share our knowledge to others. You always believe in this giveaway. We are here to give away our knowledge. So therefore, we want many of you, many people who are registered to join us in the future. Our next session will be on 5th July at 2 o'clock. Same time, we are now in the future going to take up standard-wise questions and discuss the standard-wise. All the standard will cover slowly and steadily. It is beneficial to the professionals. It is beneficial to the student as well. And I want many professionals to come together and share their ideas. Their ideas today shared in the first question. I appreciate them. They are whether they are. But anyway, I welcome. I appreciate efforts putting your views, and we expect you to join us on 5th July, 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.
I would like to add something to this, is that if you have any question in the meantime, of course we have our portal, and you can get in touch with Naseem. And I believe if you are a member already in our WhatsApp group, we have designed a portal wherein you can raise your question on the question bulletin, and we will answer them on the bulletin itself. You need not wait for the next session to come up.
Yes, yes,
However,
yes.
I mean, going ahead, the modality of this particular session would be more vibrant. That means we will be having a structured base, whereas sharing of our knowledge is concerned. And the only point I would like to share with you is it will be in depth. It will be not touch and go. The only preliminary round we had was just to assess and enable you to reflect on this particular assessment as to where you stand and where to go.
Yeah, Velankani wanted to say something. Yeah, Velankani.
Sir, Girish here.
Okay.
Actually, I want to say something. You are told me, you are told to the public that you are giving lectures standard wise, but
Yeah.
there are substandards which is important deep IFRS. Say now financial instruments or leases. Now 115 Indian that is really some contracts.
Yeah.
Like that business combinations. You can take that first because I don't know many of in this team they may appear for deep IFRS that ACCA course, so that they can be useful for that. That is in a, like intangible.
No, I'll tell you, Girish, thank you, Girish, thank you very much. I'll tell you what happens. We cannot take up those complicated at the beginning. People should know the fundamentals. If you have a query, you have a problem, you can put up on the board. We'll serve the purpose. Your purpose is served. We'll help you. But at the same time,
I am not appearing, sir. But actually, I am saying in general to the students.
But we can't put up such question in the beginning itself. We can't because student may not be able to comprehend them. We don't have issue, but about general, all the audience may not be able to comprehend them.
Girish, I would like to add to this, to your conception is, I welcome your conception. There are many students, as a fellow chartered accountant, there are many ACC or deep IFRS students, they approach me indirectly through LinkedIn. And what happens is here, that if you would like to go in depth with the standards like on financial instruments or say combinations, you need to have a proper base. Now, what happens is it become, invariable for everybody in the sense like when I am teaching, your score of index is different. And there are people who do not know what exactly is IFRS all about. You understand my point? This is an open discussion forum wherein participants come from the teaching faculty or as well. They would not be this. However, as Dr. Rebelo said, is like, we can help you exactly with your query. If you have any question, book question, answer question, whatever, you can put down on the bulletin and maybe we can take up as a bonus question if the time provides and we can answer. However, we will answer it on the bulletin board for sure. I hope that helps.
I just had one request. As Mr. Rebelo had said that we'll be taking standard by standard. So if an advance notification can be given in whereby which standard will be taking in the next meeting.
Yeah. Welcome. That is correct. We will be giving that.
We will be like, you can announce it today if you have any plans as such, doctor. So we can share with this.
We can start with the first accounting standard, IAS 1.
Presentation.
You know, I repeat it here to all the participants that feel free to put as many as questions. Now, there was a question and somebody intellectual asked me, why this group and why WhatsApp group? We can have our query posted on LinkedIn, Facebook. Yes, you are free. But what I observed and experienced over 25 years of my working is you cannot approach anybody in person to understand the standpoint of view. There are many who will write, how would you say this is the authenticated one? And most of the professions, sorry to say, that they use Google. Google is not the ultimate authentic source of information. Like when I work and when I report to CFO of the company, and he asked me like, okay, you know the answer, I also know the answer. Can I have the source of it? Maybe we can help through discussion, brainstorming to the very page where this can be retrieved. And everything comes from the IFRS body. I hope that helps.
Just one question more I had. In this group, the WhatsApp group, we can post not just questions related to the accounting science, but for example, can we post questions relating to maybe tax related queries or around those areas?
We will get back to you, okay? Because we have not decided upon now. As in today, it is only IFRS. Okay. If we want to deal with that, we have to consult our group first.
Okay. Because I think that will add more value to the group because we'll be covering taxation.
Yeah, there was a question by Mr. Jatin Tuteja. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Mr.
Yes.
Jatin.
Yes,
He had shared a screenshot of ifrs.org wherein there's a change in the definition of asset. Naseem, if I can request you to just reshare that particular poll question, which contains the definition of an asset.
Okay.
On screen, please. Yeah, the asset
Yeah.
definition. Yes, yes. The third one, the third poll.
the fourth one, I believe.
Yes. The conceptual.
Fourth one.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
this
same,
one. This
same.
is the right one.
Ah.
Yeah, Mr. Jatin, I think, see, Mr. Jatin Justin rightly pointed out there's a slight change in this IFRS definition for asset. Earlier, the exact definition was a resource controlled by the entity as a result of, the poll is gone. Can you please repaste it?
Yes.
You
Poll,
can
poll.
speak if you are available.
It's not visible again.
Okay.
I think I can see that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, earlier the definition was, yes, it was correct. The resource controlled by an entity as a result of past events and from which future economic benefits are expected to flow to the entity. Now, if you see the definition, they have split that into two parts, and we as a panel would like to thank Jatin for bringing out the change in the definition. However, we would like to still point out that the third answer, which he had replied, presuming the change in the definition, that was one element of it, which says a resource controlled by an entity as a result of past event, and the second is a right to receive income or reduce expenses in future. So this both should happen. So amongst the option that was available in this answer, in this particular answer, the most correct answer was answer number 1. So
Yes.
you can also refer to the framework from IFRS clause number 4.2 in table 4.1. You can find the definition. There are two legs of it. There are two legs. There should be a resource which should be controlled by an entity as a result of past event. That is one. And second, along with the first option, is a right to receive income or to reduce expenses in future.
Okay, fine. But yeah, by itself is not, sir. Fourth is third, by
Yes.
itself is not right.
By itself will not comprise of an asset.
Yes, correct.
Thanks, Jatin, and I hope we have also clarified your query. Yeah, I got a reply.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anybody else wants to share anything? Yes.
Feel free to ask as many as questions in the first session so that you
Yeah,
understand the modalities of the group functioning.
Has said very well effort to form such group. Amit Walecha is saying, request you to please share the agenda for the next session, which standard we will be covering.
First one, IS 1.
Okay.
We will be putting up that. Okay.
Okay. So be connected on our WhatsApp group, and you can send your questions on our query port. And I would like to thank the panel members, Dr. Ribello, Mr. Giovanni, Mr. Vishwanathan, Mr. Maruti Tejesh, and all the participants. And I hope that you spread the word and get more participants for our next session on 5th of July.